It's Madden NFL 22, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Bears and the G-Men coming up next.
We welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Chicago Bears. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And CD, you look at our quarterback matchup in this ball game, that's where the focus naturally gravitates. And I think we have a fairly interesting one here. Justin Fields of the Bears, Daniel Jones of the Giants.
And I think that each quarterback wants to play this game with a faster tempo. They want to get the plays in quickly, get in and out of the huddle quickly, take just a few seconds of the line of scrimmage and survey the defense, and then attack. And I think that we'll see both offenses try to do that in this one.
Here's Cairo Santos now ready to get this one started. And we are underway from MetLife Stadium. Here's Richie James on the return. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
First go on offense for the Giants under the guidance of Daniel Jones, the former Duke Blue Devil.
I still remember when he was drafted, there was a little bit of controversy about how high he was selected by the New York Giants. But his talents were revealed. He can make every throw in the book. Surprisingly good athlete. As long as he takes care of the football, doesn't turn it over, he can really make plays.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. And he'll find Akins there, complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
They'll run for the first time with Saquon Barkley. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
Throwing, Jones. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Only 2 yards, and it'll be a punt on their opening possession.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's third down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
On fourth down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and the Bears take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
Coming out of Ohio State, one of the top prospects in the NFL draft, and it was so big that they moved up in the draft to get him, to make sure that they had him. And, boys, he got the full package. Loves the game. Big time.
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after them early.
That's complete to his running back, Herbert.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Come on, you serious, dog?
Well, this crowd does not like that call.
Understandable reaction from them. That's their team that the penalty's going against, but you and I both know they're going to take care of the quarterback.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw taken in by Pringle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage, and that's exactly what he got done there.
And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney. Tay Crowder able to make the play.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
2nd and 5. From the gun, here's Fields. In trouble, and he's taken down. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. Now make that a 2nd sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
I'm looking at this with my defensive eyeglasses on because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought he had a mismatch? But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
A run on 1st down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Jones. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. No score after one on EA Sports. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Five in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd. Now Fields. And this is going to be incomplete. Credit the Giants defense that time in pass coverage. 4th down. On is Santos for the Bears field goal. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. Santos' kick is up and through, and it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. Now James returning. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The possession switching back to the New York Giants. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
Good call there on first down. And, Brandon, I'm getting better over the years at not screaming out, screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
On second down, here's Barkley. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. And incomplete on the deep ball.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
The pressure that time right up the middle, and he was able to wiggle in there pretty easily and get the sack.
Yeah, sometimes you end up getting caught in a little bit of a breakdown about who to block up front, and that creates the gap there, and he took full advantage, got to the quarterback, and finished off the sack.
After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants. Jones now throwing on 3rd and long. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense.
And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Play action. It's Fields.
Got an open man. It's Pringle. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. A completion, yes, but certainly not what they wanted. A loss of a full 6 yards.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do. You definitely won't like to hit on that one because now you've got a 3rd and long showing up, and you just know defense is going to be getting after it. They are pinning their ears back, and they are coming.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Montgomery running right. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. Here comes the Bears punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, and they'll be aided by a loss of yardage on the return. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. New York's offense back out there and set to go. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Back to throw. Jones. To Barkley on the check down. A good rally to the football. Keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Second and 9. Looking to throw. Jones. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants. On 3rd down, Barkley. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for New York. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Bears going to take over now late in this first half. And they've got a little over 40 seconds to work with if they want to try to put something together. Fields on first down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
I really like the angles that the tacklers came from on that play. They secured inside, took away the cutback. The sideline's there, so you can only go so far outside, and they were able to close in and tackle him for a loss.
Yeah, they used your boy over there, the 12th man, Sammy Sideline, right?
Sammy Sideline. You know something? He tackles pretty well, too.
He's tougher than an airport steak. He's going to look deep for more. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
This time they stay on the ground, and he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker.
I know you feel that.
The Giants going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on to kick it away. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. We get a look at Sterling Shepard as he and the rest of the offense march out into place. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. It'll be a gain of 3 on what should be the final play of this first half. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First order of business, though. Let's get a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Chicago. And this tells a story right here. As a unit, negative yards passing through 2 quarters of play. That is something you almost never see. Meanwhile, for the Giants, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And this will come out to the 25 as Jones elects for the touchback. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line can play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. A shotgun snap, Fields. That's complete to Mooney. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Here's Fields. They'll set up the screen to Herbert. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screen play is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle him for just a short gain.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
The tackle made by Nicholas Morrow.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. From the 25 on second down, Jones. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Jones with a handoff to Barkley.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Working with 2nd and 5 now.
A handoff, Barkley running left, and he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line.
44 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball and pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short. That's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school smash mouth football. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. 1st and 10 at the 19. Buying time, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Here's a give to Barkley. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Flushed out right. He's going to go up top for the end zone. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Everybody's down in control. Let's just make plays, man.
So since that last play got nothing, they'll go ahead and decline the penalty, and that forces a fourth down situation. So we'll get the penalty all sorted out when we get back. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. And Gano's kick is right through. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. This hasn't exactly been a battle of one touchdown after the other, quite the opposite. But at 3-3 now here in the fourth, it's been an entertaining game considering just two field goals.
Yeah, is it really a football game now, or are we watching baseball? This feels like a pitcher's duel, doesn't it? Nice and tense on the edge of your seat. Have you been scoring this one? A lot of strikeouts and ground balls in this one.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. Now Jones. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
Let's go. Do it.
The Chicago offense set to get started. And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this fourth quarter.
Get it. Dominate.
They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9. And it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And this will be a Bears first down as he's got this past the 35 to about the 37.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Montgomery. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
2nd and 11 now. Out of the gun, Fields. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Third and long. It's Fields. That one going to be complete to David Moore. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a 1st down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
2nd down. Here's Barkley again. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. 60 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. Now Jones on 1st down. Pass complete, Galladay.
Short gain last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely, this defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. Jones signaling, let's go, trying to get his guys up to the line. To throw is Jones. Escaping the pressure right. 1st down and much more here for Jones. And all the way down to the 33-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as it comes with 1:25 left to go in the contest. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. A handoff to Barkley. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll go to Barkley again. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On third down, Barkley. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
So out on the field now, Graham Gano in a big spot. This to take the lead here in the final minute. Gano's kick is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. Now Jones. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So now Fields and the Bears down 6-3, a little under 30 seconds remaining. They need at minimum 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10.
Who wants some?
Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
Probably time for 2 more shots, and ideally, they'd like to get to midfield or so they have a chance at a Hail Mary on the final play.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big connection on that one. 34 yards.
There's the arm strength that we saw in college and during the scouting process. And really, it's not just the arm strength there, but the placement as well. To me, that was an excellent combination of arm talent and accuracy.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. And we've got a timeout.
Come on, baby.
9 seconds remaining. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, it would have been a long one, but that was the spot that they put themselves in, Charles, forcing him to try from long distance, and he comes up empty.
And you know what happens oftentimes when you're trying to kick a little bit beyond your range, you overkick it, right? Don't get all of it. In this situation, they cannot point fingers at him. They've got to go back and examine their play calls, how they tried to traverse the ball down the field, and why they didn't get bigger chunks of yardage in order to set up a field goal that was much more manageable.
Yeah, because 5 to 10 yards there could have made a world of difference. Well, Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? You loved the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.